Coming up, we are going to rank all of the pavilions in Epcot. Which pavilions provide the best snacks? Stay tuned to the very end because first and second place are going to duke it out a little, and the winner might surprise you. You're not quite halfway through World Showcase, and you're definitely ready for something.
For me, it gets better the longer it's been sitting in the bag. Like it settles and it just gets better.
Hey y'all, it's LJ here, owner and founder of Smart Moms Plan Disney and Smart Moms Travel. We are so glad you're here for another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. Now, here's your host, Allie.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. I am Allie, your host, here today with Stacy and Becki. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey.
I'm in a great mood today because not only are we going to be talking about food, so there's the first thing that has me excited. We're also going to be talking about my favorite park, so that has me excited, and we are going to be ranking these things. So I'm very, very excited for today's episode. We're going to be ranking snacking in Epcot, I guess is what I really should say, because we have a little bit of a twist on this today, but it's going to be really fun. Before we get there, as we sit here and record this, it's almost summer. I have mentioned on the pod before that where I record looks straight out back over my family pool, and I can see my wife out there. She's gardening, and my kids have been swimming in it, but I'm in the Midwest and it's been really cold here, so they've been like polar plunging. um,
I don't get that. I cannot do that.
But they're so excited about it. And actually, the pool has already warmed up like 15 degrees, which is crazy. But I don't think that means it's warm. I just think it means it was really, really cold.
So you had a really intense couple months with lots of warm, beautiful weather, and then it was really, really cold and snowy. It's like you're jumping between two different versions of the Hallmark movies. Are we in Christmas mode or are we in summer mode?
Right. And when they film Christmas movies in my town, which they do, they actually turn it to winter in the summer. So we really are just backwards all the time. They'll like literally take scissors to our trees. We went and watched one film once and they literally cut the leaves off the trees so that it would
Wow.
look like winter, like no tree, no leaves
So
on the tree.
you're telling us that you are literally Elsa and you're going to have an Olaf and you're going to put a little magical flurry over him to keep him cold.
Yeah, just know that when you watch those Hallmark movies and they're all bundled up and warm in their coats and scarves and they're like rubbing their hands together and fake drinking hot cocoa, like it's 85 degrees and they're wearing all that stuff. Like 100% it is.
You know what's tough about this recording for me today? I will say I'm happy that we're doing it a little bit later than usual. Sometimes you Eastern time zone ladies will have me waking up a good bit before I would naturally wake up. But now today you're actually doing it a little later in the morning and I can't be happy still because now I'm like, gosh, it's almost lunch and we're fixing
Yeah,
to talk about food. And
I
I don't
know.
know if I can handle that either. So I guess I just need to get over both of it and deal. I may need a snack midway. We'll see how it goes.
I was thinking about summer as I was waiting for y'all to kind of get here and we're, as Stacy said, fixing to talk about food. Swimming obviously becomes the big summer activity around here because we don't do it year round. What about what are your kids into for the summer?
My oldest just came home from college. Like, I'm feeling so old. And I can tell you, two things happened this week. Macy came home from college from her freshman year. She's been living in the dorms, which is not a life I lived in my life. Like, I went to school from home, the whole thing. And then Laker, my baby, turned 15. I kid you not. I woke up on his 15th birthday and had two gray hairs growing out of my head. Full length gray hairs. It's like, does him turning 15 all of a sudden make me old? I only have 3 years left of kids at home. This is so crazy.
I thought you were gonna say I only have 3 years left. I'm like, your life does not stop.
Hopefully I
Your
have.
life does not stop when they turn 18, Becki. We need hobbies and a life outside of
It's a
them.
fun life.
I completely agree. And I get to empty nest before I'm even 45 years old. So what does that say about it? Like, I could have it another lifetime. Just Sean and
That's
I.
wild. Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild.
It is crazy.
Well, I tell you, I do have a lot of gray hairs, and it did start when my kids were teenagers for sure. But I hate to tell you this, Becky. If you had two really long gray hairs, they did not just turn gray. They
Yeah.
have been there for a while. I'm sorry to tell you that.
I refuse to accept this. They were not there yesterday.
I hope my hair grays like Stacy's. Like I want it.
I agree.
I want to have the most beautiful long gray hair. I will rock it immediately. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that for sure because I don't know when it's going to happen for me because I'm not great yet. But when I am, I want to think it's just to be really luxurious like Stacy's, and I'm just going to rock it all the time.
Oh, you're sweet. Your hair's so blonde. Will it really even turn gray? I mean, I don't know. It's
My
just
hair's
one.
really not that blonde anymore. It's pretty dark, honestly. I'm a fake blonde now. I used to be a real blonde.
We'll see how you turn.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is a lot of my friends have their kids signed up for all of these really intense summer programs and things. And I start to panic this point every summer because I don't have my kids signed up for that. I'm home for the summer, and a lot of my friends that do that are not home for the summer. And so they have to have their kids and things. But summer camps are expensive. They're not cheap. My kids are going, all three of them, on a 5 night overnight camp the same week.
Yeah, we said we were gonna come to your house that
Yeah.
week,
Oh, yeah, yeah. We
remember?
said yeah, yeah. That's right. You said you were gonna crash. So I thought I mentioned it before. So that's coming. But then also I'm gonna sign my son up for tennis camp. And what's funny about it is it's a month long, like couple times a week thing, and he really likes it. It's walkable from our house. Guess how much that camp is?
The tennis camp or the sleepaway camp?
The tennis camp. 2 times a week for a month.
2 times a week for a month, and how long a day per the day?
You guys are travel agenting me right now. It's 2 hours a week for 4 weeks.
Oh,
Okay, I would bet, 2 hours a week for 4 weeks, $600.
no. No way. 2 hours a week for 4 weeks, that's 8 hours. You think it's $600 for 8 hours?
Maybe.
Summer camps are expensive now. That's what I'm saying.
I'm in the wrong business if that's what I get. $600 for 8 hours of playing
What
tennis
do
with
you think
kids?
it?
Well, I'm guessing
I'm gonna
also that it's gonna be expensive or we would not be playing this game.
well, listen, context clues. That's not necessarily what we're wanting to do here. I'm gonna guess $100 a week. So $400.
It's $40 total.
What?
Wait, so we're not this was the reverse game. This
$40.
was
My point is, all of these summer camps are like so expensive. Activity camps are expensive, and you're there, and then they're intensive. And this one goes for an entire month, and it's
I say
$40.
that is, like, basically free.
I know, I know. I can literally give him
Wow.
two $20 bills to register him, and he loves it. But my point was, sleepaway camp. No, that stuff is expensive.
It is. And my kids are doing marching band, which is insanity amounts of money because so much
Hmm.
I mean, there's just not enough money in education as it is, but let alone the arts gets minimal, if any, funding. It always if there's funding, it goes to athletics, which I am an athletic supporter as well, so I want the money to go
Did
there.
y'all not watch movies in the '80s where you do not call it an athletic supporter, that you are not an athletic supporter?
No, I don't know that, but I'm a supporter of
There
athletes.
we go. Athletic supporter is like a jock strap. Oh my gosh. We don't use that term. Anyway, so my daughters played volleyball in the summer and we did lots of volleyball camps and they were also very expensive, but they were a lot closer to the $600, which is why I kind of was going up that route. But that's very awesome. And I know your band caps were probably super expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I own a youth activity. Obviously, I get that they're pricey, and I'm certainly not complaining. I think it's great. And
Mhm.
when I looked at this form yesterday, and I was like, where's the registration fee? And then I'm like, oh, that's total. That's like the total
That's
thing is
incredible.
$4. Yeah. So I'm like, you can
That's
do both
incredible.
months, buddy. Like, I'm like, this is great.
Well, hopefully the organizer doesn't hear this and bump up the price because
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, wait, we should be charging more."
I know, right? Anyway, I thought that was amazing.
Through this kind of vein though, I'm getting gray hair, which is I'm just going to embrace it. I'm not going to hide it. It's just what it is. But looking back on decisions I make as a mom, I absolutely love my mom. My mom is the best mom, as we all think we have the best mom, right? But something I don't want to do that my mom did was get to the point of the kids being gone and not having an identity. So my mom really, really struggled when we left home and she didn't have hobbies. She didn't have things for her to do. She was kind of lost, like, who am I and what do I even like to do? She didn't know. And so I'm trying to instill in myself, while I have my kids, what hobbies do I do for myself, not just it's always about the kids.
What are they?
I would say, I dare say that it's mostly reading the statistics of our podcast because I love crunching numbers. And I spend way too much time doing this. I will tell you, these ladies humor me and pretend like they understand those things I'm trying to tell them about it. But realistically, I was the kid in high school and elementary who really, really struggled with reading fluency. So I never read when I was young. I always was like, let me pretend to read this book. As an adult, I've let go of that fear of somebody thinking I'm taking too long to read a book. And in the last 4 years, like I've become a reader and I genuinely love it. I love audiobooks. I love ebooks. I'm not the person who says if you're listening to an audiobook, you're not really reading. I'm too busy to sit down with a physical book all the time, but I'm reading like 40, 50 books a year at this point, and that's not something that I was. I was before maybe would read one book for pleasure every decade. So that's been an evolution for me in the last couple of years.
That is
Wow.
a lot of reading.
That's a lot of reading. I mean, more power to you. I think that's amazing.
What do you all do for hobbies that are just yours, not your kids?
I'm doing this empty nest life now, and it is including a lot of travel, and it's wonderful. And even with the kids home this summer, they're not really, really home. They're both still working. Well, one is even working at a camp, so I won't see him for a couple of months in a row, which is probably going to be less than I actually saw him when he was in school. But we're still traveling. I mean, and we've actually increased our traveling since the kids are gone. I cannot cut my kids out of my life just because they're not living here for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
But we enjoy just our time together. It's great.
Yeah, we'll be traveling as well. I think that's what we'll do for sure when our kids are we're far from there. Thank goodness. I'm not ready to be close to there and have gray hair, but
Listen, it's not so bad to have earned some gray hair. Life is good with teenagers.
It is not so bad.
that's true. I like this phase right now. My kids are 7, 7, and 10 as we're recording this, and it's obviously comes with its own complications at every age. But this has been a really sweet age for us. I'm loving it. It's still a very magical age, but it's mature enough that you can really start developing conversations, and that is just my favorite. So I do see myself loving the teenage era. I'm not ready to be there yet. Not yet.
It will come. It will come fast and it will be here before you know it. And everybody talks about how much they miss their kids being little. And I've never been that mom. I've
Yeah.
always loved the phase that they're in. And even with Macy now being 18, almost 19 years old, like she's getting ready to go. At this point, when this comes out, she will have just arrived on Disney property for her Disney college program. And she's having an apartment and she's having all of these amazing full-time job opportunities. And I'm so excited for her to go be a part of this world and get to be in more of a peer phase. Obviously, I'm still mom,
Yeah.
but she doesn't have to come get an answer for me for everything. It's just
Mhm.
so amazing.
You and I have, and actually Stacey, you too. I think the three of us have always sort of bonded over the fact that we don't miss our kids being super little. Although when I look at old pictures, sometimes I'm like, oh man, that's cute. But I don't think I want to live back in that phase, like ever. You know
No,
what I
because apparently you go
mean?
become a grandma, and then once you're a grandma, you get it for those little snippets of time, and then you send
Yeah,
them home.
exactly,
Or
Yes.
exactly.
you become a
Uh,
nanny, a granny nanny. It's fine.
yeah, granny. I will be submitting my job application for the granny nannies, but not anytime soon. Sometime in the future. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're diving in, ranking snacking at Epcot. It's gonna be great. See you on the other side. This episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast is brought to you by BabyQuip, the #1 baby gear rental service across the US, Canada, and beyond. There is nothing more difficult for my family with 3 young kiddos than when we are traveling. We're just out of rhythm without our things. We just feel out of step and our kids feel off. It can make our vacation feel so much more stressful than it needs to. With a wide range of baby and toddler equipment available, including cribs, strollers, car seats, toys, and more, Baby Quip helps give us some of that normalcy that our kids crave and we need as parents when we are away from home. When they're happy, we're happy. And by using local quality providers that are often moms, dads, and grandparents just like us and you smarties that are listening today, Baby Quip makes sure that you are working with somebody who understands the needs of your family firsthand. If you need it, they have it. All products follow strict cleanliness and safety protocols and are also insured to give you that extra peace of mind that you need to really enjoy your vacation. With convenient delivery to your location, whether it's a home, a hotel, a vacation rental, wherever you're calling, home away from home, they've got you covered. BabyQuip is available in over 1,500 cities, making it accessible. So whether you're heading to Disney World, Disneyland, or another travel destination, BabyQuip will be there for you. With their easy to use online platform, you don't have to stress about getting your products. Head to babyquip.com. Use code SMPOD, that's SMPOD, to get $30 off of any order of $150 or more. That's babyquip.com. Pack light, travel happy. Okay, we are back. We are ranking snacking and snacks at Epcot because Epcot has so many snacks. We are going to talk about snacking options specifically in each of the international pavilions. but we're going to rank them based on those pavilions. So each of us will give a score out of 100, sliding scale 1 to 100, just like we do on all of our ranking episodes. So think of it on a 1 to 10 scale, is how I always tell our Smarties. If you think something is an 8 out of 10, maybe you're going to give it an 80, and then you have a 10-point range there in the 80s to kind of decide how 80 is it, right? And it gives us just more variety, more room and wiggle to debate these things and really come out with a clear ranking of the best snacking pavilions in Epcot. We'll average those scores and see which pavilion ranks highest. I think when people go to Disney World, they underestimate what a great park Epcot is. Too many people are skipping it. We're not talking about rides and kid friendliness necessarily today, but let's just remember that it has all of those things going for it. And in addition to all of those things, the snacking and the food is perfect. It's perfect. It has enough variety to fit every palate, including your kids and especially the adults in your group. So I'm excited to just kind of talk about World Showcase in this way, and we're going to dive in.
And to be honest, we were considering doing this kind of the way we've done some other parks with individual snacks. And we were talking through that, and there were so many snacks that we could not do it individually. And that's why we're doing this new way and lumping it together as pavilions, because the sheer number of foods available in Epcot are so massive. And not just the sheer number, but the sheer number of them being excellent, taste try-worthy snacks. We really need to sample worthy.
Yeah.
They're all over.
I really love also about this because everybody knows that you eat and drink around Epcot, right? That is a part of the foundation of Epcot is eating and drinking around the world. And the timing of this I love because we're dropping this right before summer starts. And unique to Epcot starting this year is there's not a festival happening for most of the summer this year. So we're leaning in to Epcot as a park, but not necessarily about the festivals. The festivals will have unique things that are only available during those festivals. And everything we're talking about on this episode today is something you can find no matter when you're going to Epcot, whether it's Christmas time, whether it's summertime, whether it's during Flower and Garden Festival, you can still get all of these options. So, no time limit on when this is going to be applicable for you if you're heading to Epcot.
Yeah, it's a great point because, that street corn that you can get during the Flower Garden Festival, my favorite thing you can eat at Disney. We're not talking about that today. Literally, all these awesome choices, you are not up against a timeline. You can have them any time of year. And of course, as you always should, we are going to start left in World Showcase with Mexico. Absolutely, without debate, one of the most popular pavilions in all of Epcot. Obviously, people love it. I think mostly it's because of the tequila and the margaritas, but it's also because of the nachos and that remarkable boat ride that Becki
Yes,
loves.
that's exactly why it's amazing, is because of the remarkable boat ride.
By the way, Smarties, if you were following along in our stories, you may have seen me. I really pulled one over on even our co-hosts here, where I rode the Grand Fiesta boat tour, then said that I was wrong and it was wonderful. And then of course that was not true. But make sure you're following us on Instagram at Smart Moms Playing Disney Podcast if you're not already, because we troll each other on there all the time. Okay. I love to eat in Mexico. So my go-to is always going to be the nachos. That's like number one. And as a dessert person, I go cinnamon over chocolate, right? So a churro is absolutely in my wheelhouse. What about the two of you? Becki, let's start with you and your number. How do you feel about Mexico and snacking?
Well, I think that Mexico is remarkable, not just for the boat ride, but for the food, because all of the food options in Mexico are delicious. I am a fan of Mexican food in general, though. So having the churros with the chocolate dipping sauce, but also I love chips and salsa. Like that's a go to in our house for snacking. It isn't necessarily what I get every time I'm going, but know that it's an option if it's something that you kind of have a hankering for. So, as far as Mexico goes, I don't think that it's the best that Epcot has to offer, but I also think that there are some really good options when it comes to Mexico. So, I gave it a 75.
Stacy, what about you?
One of the reasons I love Mexican food, period, is because all of the food is basically the same combination of ingredients, just in different forms. And I am a meat and cheese girl. I love the salty and the cheesy, and Mexico just fits all of that. I will eat Mexican pretty much every day of the week. So, of course, this is going to be really high in my palette of enjoyment. I love grabbing a snack at Mexico. I'll sometimes get a kid's meal as a snack. so that it's just a smaller version, like the empanadas. Oh my goodness. And if I'm not ready for it to be just a full on meal, I'll grab kids' meal size. And I'm going to rank this really high. It's kind of weird going right off the bat with something this high, but I'm going to go with 90, way up there. I know.
Andy, wow.
I know. I love it. If you enjoy Mexican food at home, this is going to be a wonderful, fun snack for you.
I'm down for a 90 on the food, but on the snacks, there's so many better options. So many better options.
So here's my thing. I love to eat in the Mexico pavilion, but a lot of what they consider snacks in that pavilion feel more like meals to me.
It's true.
If I'm trying to look at this through a snack lens, like, yes, nachos can be a snack and they're delicious, but do I want to go grab nachos and walk around World Showcase with them? Probably not. I want to grab a table and sit and eat them. And then I'm thinking that's more like quick service. So while I think the food is great, I don't think it's the best place to snack. So I'm giving it lots of points for being delicious, for being some of my favorite food in the park, and for saying you just can't really go wrong with it. But for snacking specific lens and options, I'm giving it a 66.
Hmm.
I can agree.
What do you know? We're all so different.
I love the food in Mexico. If I'm thinking about snacking, like, oh, I want to grab a snack. I want to go to Mexico to eat, like to sit
Yeah.
down and eat, to have quick service, to have a meal, to have dinner. Snack specific, I'm going to continue my walk here, which is going to take us to Norway. Gotta be honest, mostly bakery, right? Like, am I missing something?
I mean,
No,
no,
this is
it's the Kringlob Bakery.
it is. Although not just the bakery items in there, because as a snack, there are some drinks that are snacks. And while we're not leading into alcohol drinks here, Christoph Calf that Stacy drafted back in our Epcot draft episode, which if you have not listened to that episode and you feel lost about all of these remarkable references of Epcot, go listen to that episode. Christoph
I'm gonna
Calf.
go back and I gotta go back and re-listen to that. That was freaking hilarious.
Christoph Calf, I would say is a snack. I would say that that qualifies as a snack, and that's not necessarily a bakery item, and it's delicious, but that's kind of where it ends for me. School bread, they have a Mickey cinnamon roll. They have like this thing to me that looks like a tortilla with butter and something rolled up in it that I've tried it, but it just wasn't for me. The drink is really where it stops for me in terms of what Norway has to offer to make me happy. I'm giving it a 50.
Oh,
Is
wow.
that bad?
Well, I think it's fair. My issue with Norway is it is just baked goods mostly, and it's not even the best sweets in World Showcase, like by a lot. So if I am trying to fill a sweet tooth, I'm definitely just walking through Norway. Unfortunately, I'm only going to Norway for the Frozen elements. I want to ride Frozen and I want to meet Anna and Elsa, and that makes me actually feel really bad because I wish I wanted to spend more time just in the country pavilion in general, and I wish I was more drawn to some of the things that it offers. Fact is, I'm not. And Mickey cinnamon rolls sound good in theory. They're not. They're like sticky and hard and weird. It's just not for me, and it's not Norwegian either. The school bread, which they're so popular for, and people just rave and rave about, also just, not for me. And if I'm getting a drink in Epcot, it's probably not going to be the Kristoff one. Like mine is on down the road. I'm actually going to mention it later. Becky, I am actually lower than you. I gave Snacking in Norway a 45 because I just don't think it's very good.
Ooh.
I don't blame you. It's not it, guys.
No.
Although Stacy maybe has a different opinion. Let's hear.
Well, it's not too far off. I have only tried a couple of the bakery items there. I did try the showbread because of its popularity, and I really was surprised. I was like, why is this so popular? I did not think it was very good at all. However, I do quite frequently slip through there with getting their nachos or something salty from Mexico, and then I'm ready for that Christoph calf. It's a pretty frequent purchase, which, by the way, the Christoph calf is the non alcoholic version, and the Viking coffee is the alcoholic version of the same drink. It is really, really good. And I do like it a lot. I don't know it's enough to bring the score up too much. And maybe I'm just going to have all of my scores a little higher than you, even if my feelings are similar, because I gave it a 60.
Okay.
I don't think it's too far off.
I think it's a little high though, but we'll see where you fall with everything else. We'll see what you put between the 60 and 90.
So
Yeah.
the lesson we've learned about Norway is if you like McDonald's frappes, then go get a Christoph cafe or cafe.
I do love a McDonald's frappe. You know me well.
Yeah, I would give like a McDonald's McCafe, whatever, like a 10 though on the snacking list.
What? Because you haven't had one. There's the only answer. You have not had one.
That's actually true. I haven't had one. That's gonna keep us walking along here. Take us to the China pavilion. Gotta be honest, kind of feel about China the way I do about Mexico. First of all, I love pork egg rolls. Okay, that is a food to me that I want to eat. I love it. And I would say, would you agree with me, or do either of you have a different opinion that that would be the number one snack option in the Chinese pavilion? Would be the pork egg rolls that they have there?
Yes.
Absolutely. And you can get it at multiple spots, right? The Joy of
Yeah.
Tea and back at the quick service.
For
Amazing.
sure. Yeah. And they're obviously readily available and they're very tasty. I can eat those on the go, which is fine, but they also kind of fill me like a meal. And when I'm thinking, oh, I want a snack, I'm again, just like the Mexico pavilion, I'm not like, oh, let me go to China and grab the pork egg rolls. You know what I mean? It's just not high priority snack for me. And that is where I just keep hitting this roadblock when I was coming up with my numbers for this particular ranking because I do think they're delicious, but they hit more like a meal for me. And when I think about this pavilion and I'm like, I want a snack, I'm never, ever, not once have I said, let's run over to the China pavilion. And so that had to be a factor in mine. And so while I do think they're delicious, I do also think it's really the only grab and go option I would walk and eat. I mean, like the fried rice, I guess you could walk and eat for sure, but that's a meal, not a snack. So for me, it's a 55.
Mm. Which is higher.
Yeah.
Which is higher than you had. So, see, we're gonna fall in the same range, I think. Maybe, maybe. I agree. The egg rolls are so good. I don't have a problem with entree type foods as snacks, but that may be because I'm 6'1", you're 5 and a breath.
I'm offended.
What are you? 5 what?
I'm 5 in a breath.
Okay. So
5 in a I'm 5 in a whisper, yeah.
so maybe that's why egg roll for you fills up your belly, and for me, I'm like, that was good. That was a little snack." So maybe that's
Yeah.
the difference, right?
I thought you were going like that you can have your arms free without people like bumping you. Like that's where I thought you were going with this. You're eating above us all. And so it's not
Yeah.
it's not a problem to be carrying around a plate of nachos because it can just land on Allie's head as you're walking by. It's fine.
That's funny. That is so funny. No, I mean, I just don't think that because it can also be an entree makes it not a snack. So my brain doesn't really go there, but I do like it. Like you said, when you ask, do you want a snack? What's the first thing? I really would only go by there if it was just we were standing there. I mean, I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna grab one while I'm here. I would not make a trip over to China for this snack, but it is good. And I will go 65, a little higher than Norway.
Fair.
Okay, so some other things that I think people like to snack on besides the pork egg rolls are kind of what people would be drawn there for. But if you're a bubble tea person, you can get that there.
Yeah.
Or if you like pot stickers, like there's other options for you to get there. But I have the exact same sentiment here. The only reason I would have it if I was getting it to go with my meal. I don't know that I would even seek it out as a snack at any point, but they are delicious. So I'm giving it a 60. So all kind of in the same range there.
Yeah. I don't want to deter people away from the egg rolls. And Stacey, you made a great point just about what do you personally determine as a snack. But either way, this is not going to hit as the top pavilion for snacking at Epcot, especially in a place where snacking is literally a top priority. You go to Epcot, people wear shirts that are like game on for
Here for
snacking
the
and
snacks.
yeah, and like checking off the countries and it's just not the one. But Germany, Becky, I'm going to give you the honors of starting us with Germany.
Hey, before we jump to actually getting to the food there, that is a long break. Don't y'all agree? The walk from China to your next snack is all the way to Germany. Just know that, people.
Yeah, I'm
When
trying
we're
to think.
talking a long walk, though, we're not talking like a voyage. We're talking like 150 steps,
Maybe
maybe.
100. I was gonna say no. I would say no, not 150. I
No,
don't know.
but
Actually, I'm
I'm
not
trying
good
to
at that
think.
guess.
Doesn't it go? Wait,
It
who am I
has the
confusing?
refreshment
The
outpost.
like the African
Yes.
area.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but it's just called the refreshment outpost. It's not actually like a pavilion. It's just a space to get
Like a soda.
a frozen
You
Coke
can
or
probably
a
get
you can get
exactly.
a Dole Whip there.
Yeah, but it's kind of got references to Africa there, right? Like they
Absolutely,
have
the
the
That's where the
drums.
drums
yeah, yeah,
are.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the drums and all the carvings and people are out there doing the carvings, but a lot of people don't really stop there. It's kind of a passer through. There's some tables over there.
I might stop if they didn't have the drums there. It's so loud.
I love the drum. God, you are a grandma.
And maybe that is it. When I'm right up on it, I'm like, "Oh, I gotta move on through. Get me out of
Oh
here."
my God. The drums are lovely and lively and very fun.
Allie goes and bangs them right along with the 7-year-old.
Yeah, I sure would. Yeah,
Gosh,
you know
I
I
am
would.
so old, I guess.
They do have nice tables there though, and if you're looking for something that's not a trash can. But you do have to walk over the bridge and through the woods and get all the way to Snow White's cottage over there in Germany. It does. It's like that rounder. So maybe you need to grab your egg rolls before you take that long voyage journey on over to Germany.
Guys
Exactly.
are so funny.
You're not going to have anything to eat for a full, like,
100 yards?
Not even that. Like, it's like 2 minutes,
unless you're
maybe.
banging the drums, and then it might be like 10.
Mhm.
That's true. But we want Epcot to put in Greece or something there. Like, can we get like a
Yes.
pavilion in that space?
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Yes. Can we get a Mediterranean?
That
Oh,
would be great.
love that idea. Okay. That's
All
great.
right, Germany. I might start crying
I know.
because Germany is so amazing. I took German in middle school. Did you guys
Really?
take a foreign language?
Yeah. Spanish.
French? Oui,
Oh,
oui.
all 3 of us. Yeah. German was my language. So can officially sing the ABCs and count to 10 and sing happy birthday. That's the extent of my German. However, if we go to Germany, there are so many good snacks in Germany. When you're walking in on the right-hand side towards the water, you're going to have a massive German pretzel as an option. You're going to smell it before you even get to Germany. The amazing caramel shop that has home of the world famous caramel corn that is my heart song. It is amazing. Inside there, they also have a gingerbread caramel cookie. They have different types of fudges. They have literally every single kind of amazingness caramel that you can think of. Caramel apples.
And it's Werther. I mean, it's Werther's. Like,
It's
it's,
Werther's
yeah.
caramel, and you watch them make these things in
Yeah.
front of you, and it is gorgeous and smells amazing and heavenly. Your kids could sometimes meet Snow White just outside of that door. And then, even beyond that, go further into the pavilion, and you can get pretzel bread pudding that is, oh, like my mouth is literally watering as I'm talking about this. Because do you know anything about the pretzel bread pudding?
Well, I know some things about
No.
it. What?
Do you know that they take the day old pretzels from the day before and make the pretzel bread pudding with the leftover pretzels? And so they're a little bit chewy, and then they drizzle it with this vanilla sauce. It is heaven on earth, ladies.
Great. Yeah.
I have nothing to say, but this pavilion for snacking is a 100 for me. It does not get better on Disney property.
You gave it a 100?
I gave it a 100.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna go next. So I'm in line with Becki a lot here. I think I talk a lot about how I love to drink cocktails and I like to drink around the world. Germany would probably be among my least favorite to drink in. I don't really love beer. I just haven't acquired the taste for it or something. I don't know. So I don't stop there. And the beer garden, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Is not my favorite sit down restaurant. So there are a lot of parts of the German pavilion that are just not for me. Not my favorite. Low on my list for a lot of reasons. Snacking is not. I think one of the reasons I love the German pavilion for snacking is because I am not all in on savory or all in on sweet all the time person. I really have a range, right? Sometimes I want sweet, sometimes I want salty. And Germany is one of the only pavilions I feel does both really, really well. That Werther shop, literally, you cannot go in there and not grab a bag of that maple popcorn and just
Wait. You just called it maple popcorn. That's in Canada. It is
sorry, caramel.
caramel popcorn.
Caramel. I just misspoke. Okay, I'm sorry. The caramel popcorn. I thought of Becki last week, bought myself a bag. I don't think I've ever bought myself a bag because I usually just munch on Becky's. And I literally bought a bag and I had that stuff all day. And I was with like 5 other girls and we were all eating it. It lasted us all day. It was so great just to keep popping it. We waited in the standby queue for Guardians for the first time. Still had my caramel popcorn. So great. Lasts a long time. But if I want savory, I can just get one of the best pretzels. Hello. So good. So I think it's actually a perfect snacking pavilion because if you're walking World Showcase and again, you're like, I want a snack, no matter if you want sweet or savory, it's there. The little Lederhosen apples, I brought those home as souvenirs for my kids on our trip in January that we took. Just a big fan. Love it all. Very happy with it. I don't think it's a 100. I don't know why I don't think it's a 100. Probably just because I don't think anything has enough variety to be a 100. But I did actually give it a 93.
Nice.
I will accept anything above 90. So, Stacy, watch out on what you're going to say here.
I think you'll be okay.
Allie is not a fan of beer. I am not a fan of beer either, but their grapefruit beer there, it's something different. I love their grapefruit beer there. Again, not what we're talking about today, but I do have to plug that because while you're there and getting your delicious pretzel bread pudding and your caramel corn, try the grapefruit beer.
I think you're gonna be okay with my score. I actually had in my notes salty and sweet. That is the big draw here. I am not a super sweet I'm not a sweet person, y'all.
Yeah.
I like my salty more. but sometimes I do want sweet. And this is where I think of, but do you know what I like here that I think of? And it is so sweet that I can have like a bite at a time. I have a bite and I wrap it up. I have a bite and I wrap it up.
The popcorn.
No, and I do like the popcorn a lot, and that is a great snack, and I do get it. But there is a butter bar there, and it is so buttery, and which makes it have a richness to it, and then it has this sweetness to it as well. Oh my goodness, I love that. There are not a lot of things I think about food-wise away from Disney. I don't just sit and dream of the foods that I'm missing today, but that one I have thought of. It is a mess. It's so I mean, this sounds like just like you were saying, you were describing the bread pudding as a little bit chewy. To me, that sounds like a turnoff, honestly. I was like, "Don't use the word chewy for a pudding." And this may be I may be just as guilty of that when I say this about the butter bar. It is so greasy with butter. It's like the paper that's wrapped around it is just slick with a grease, and it is so good. Oh my goodness. I love that little thing. So, I am going to make you happy, Becky. I'm gonna score this the same as Mexico. Different reasons why, but it's a 90. It is an almost perfect snack stop along your walk.
I love this.
Yeah, and you're not quite halfway through World Showcase at that point, but you're nearly getting there and you're definitely ready for something and you're going to find it there. I just looking in that case is fun every single time in the Werther shop.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's exciting to pick something new and there is so much to pick from and it's all very good in my
You can find
opinion.
something for pretty much everyone. Like they have caramel flights where you can try different types of things. And
Hmm.
I love, Allie, that you talked about getting the caramel corn and snacking throughout the day because for me, it gets better the longer it's been sitting in the bag. Like it settles and it
Yeah.
just gets better.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
The line will almost always be out the door there, and I think they've always moved pretty fast too, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you can sometimes mobile order there as well. So if the line is out
Hmm.
of control and you don't have time to wait, mobile order and grab your stuff and go.
And I think I'm in the minority on the beer thing, right? Like most people want to go grab an awesome beer from the German pavilion. So I think you just are like one stop shop here for most people.
Mhm.
All right. That's going to keep us walking. And we're going to hit actually one of my favorite pavilions just because I love pasta and red wine. That's just Allie's starter pack stuff. So the Italian pavilion, but let's look at it through the lens of snacking. I once had this tiramisu push pop in the Italian pavilion. I feel like nobody's ever had it.
I have. I
You've
have.
had it. Okay. I don't even know if they still have it. Have you seen it in a
I
while?
haven't had it since, gosh, probably 2 years ago. I don't know if they still have it either, and I don't know if it was tied to
Yeah.
the Flower and Garden Festival, was my original thought.
The one I had was definitely not festival food because it was back in the pavilion. So it's definitely not festival food, but I don't know if it's still there. But that was one of my favorite things I ever had. Zan and I love tiramisu. So we just had so much fun eating these little
Push pops.
I like fun food, you know what I mean? And it's like a fun way to eat this dessert I love. Not sure if it's still there, but obviously gelato, hugely popular. People love it. It's authentically Italian and it's in the Italian pavilion. So I think that's the crown jewel when you're thinking of snacking in Italy. What have you all had there that you love?
Well, I know that gelato is the staple, and I feel like most of the things are just kind of around there. I actually am so happy you brought up the tiramisu push pop, and I hope that it's still there because it was
I
totally
know.
like nostalgic to going to 7-Eleven and buying one of those push pops as a kid that would have the sorbet or something inside of it. Anyway, I think they have I'm pretty sure they still have like a cookie sandwich where you have cookies and then gelato between it to make like an ice cream sandwich, but you're making it with your own choice of gelato.
I do.
It's good. Yeah.
It's just not the number one place I would do that is the problem for me.
I can't. I just spent all my money in Germany, so I don't
I
have any
know.
money left.
I
I'm
know.
really glad y'all say that because I honestly have never eaten here, and that's the only thing I can think is that I have just eaten somewhere it's too in the middle, and I have just already eaten
Yeah.
somewhere else. Whichever direction I'm coming from, I already have food in my hand and in my mouth.
Yeah.
So,
It's true.
because when I was looking at this gelateria, is that how you say it? Gelatateria?
Yeah.
It sounds
Gelateria.
yes, that. It sounds so
Yeah.
Becky and I are actually gonna be in Epcot together with Carla and Katie Monday. Allie is cursing
She's
us
cursing us.
in silence.
I'm
She
actually you know what? Here's the thing. I probably knew that,
you
okay?
did.
I probably knew
You
that.
did.
But sitting here right now, it feels like I'm learning it for the first time. And so I have some rage inside of me because somewhere along the way I forgot and now I just feel left out. and blindsided.
It is
And
totally here fast. Like this has been a very quick plan that we're going to be together. But I'm thinking, Becky, we mark this down as somewhere we need to go because there was a coffee thing, the mocha tiramisu, and there is where's that coffee? An espresso gelato. Oh my goodness. We got to go here.
I am flying home from this trip, not driving home, so I will be having the frozen red sangria and enjoying myself while I order myself an Uber to take me to the airport on the second half of this day.
do you guys have a text thread without me?
No.
Or you're just like
Shh.
planning this whole
She
day
doesn't
and
So
know. She
sorry.
doesn't
I
know.
know she doesn't know. She knows now. She
it's
knows that
probably titled Not Allie.
it is. Everyone but Allie.
To be fair, we wish you were with us.
I think you should still come. I think there's still time.
I'm not coming. Okay. What do you give this? Stacy, you go first. You've never eaten there, so
I
let's hear that
haven't.
score.
Gosh, it seems so good. I think I'm gonna have to knock some points off since I haven't been there, and a little bit because it is super sweet. It's gonna be at all sweets. I'll go 75 because I think it's gonna be a really good stop, but it's definitely gonna be an ice cream stop.
Yeah.
I have feelings about ice cream, gelato. It's different, but it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
This is not where I would go to get ice cream, and I think that's why this just doesn't come to mind when I'm thinking about snacking. One, because it's not my go-to place, and when I think about snacking in a place that is so snack heavy, I can't give it amazing points, even though I think there are some very delicious things there. And so I'm actually going to give it a 55.
I'm in line with that. Ice cream or gelato, not my go-to for a snack. I don't even really like it that much, honestly. And again, when my kids say they want a frozen treat like that, we go elsewhere. We just haven't talked about it just yet. And so for all of those reasons, and again, I would eat dinner in the Italian pavilion, and I would stop at the wine bar and get some delicious wine in this pavilion. But it's just not where I'm going to snack. And so I gave it a 60.
Yeah, it's not a snacking space. It's a food place and a drink space.
I agree. And a sit and look at the views place.
It's a dessert place. I think it is a dessert place.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, we are going to do one more, and then we're going to take our next break. Okay, the U.S. Pavilion, our stomping grounds. It's like a big old festival up in there. You can get a funnel cake. You can get a big old veiny turkey leg. You can get you can get an ice cream cone. Where can you get an ice cream cone? At the
On the side when you're coming in from Italy, there's a space to pick ice cream cone. In fact, we bought one once, and before it was even handed to Macy, it was already dripping.
Yeah.
Like I have
Ew.
firm memories, right where that character alley is, kind of idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love funnel cake. I could literally pass on everything else here.
Whatever. You know you want the turkey leg.
Blah.
It's oh gosh.
Where do you I don't think I've ever with my eyeballs seen anybody in Epcot with a turkey leg.
That's because there's too many other great options. It's at the Fife.
Have you?
Yeah, the Fife and Drum Tavern. Once in a while, you'll see them when you're like sitting down to watch the concert. You'll see somebody
Oh,
have
yeah.
grabbed a turkey leg. I think you have given yourself blinders that if you see it, you just disassociate. Don't look at it.
Yeah. It's making me like chill down my back right now. Will you guys do me a favor when you're at Epcot on Monday and get a turkey leg?
No,
No, probably not.
I'm not spending my money on that.
Can you guys all get around it all at once, all four of you, and just one big old bite? Ugh.
Oh,
Well, we are also together. We should explain why we're all together. We will all be at Epic together on Sunday. That's the real reason for our gathering.
Pretty cool for y'all. Okay, snacking in the US Pavilion. You know, it's hard for me because the funnel cake's all I really want there. I do think they have a lot of variety, which is fine. You know what I mean? But also, I can get a funnel cake like at the Warren County Fair up the street from my house. And when I'm in Epcot, I just want different. And it's hard for me to necessarily hold that against it, but I also feel like it's fair to hold that against it. I think I give it, I'm adjusting my answer right now. In my head, I'm kind of just like talking in circles so I can land somewhere. I'm going to give it a 59.
I do love funnel cakes, and they have a really cute like funnel cake gift pack that if you're not in the mood for a funnel cake right then, that could be a fun take home thing that you got from a pavilion. The funnel cake that's regular though, I not so much. Like I want to get the ones that are there for the festivals, and they rotate throughout the festivals. So there was a cotton candy one that I wanted so desperately bad to try while we were there for the art festival, but I never got to
Mhm.
try it because here's the struggle. You've now snacked for half of the World Showcase, And by the time you get there, you're just might be full. And so if funnel cake is something you want, or a root beer float, or a hot dog, or any of these American traditional snacks, prioritize getting there before you're snacking on all of those other places because you'll get there and you'll just be full. So
Yeah. So what do you give it?
for that reason, are there a lot of snacks available? Yes. Are they snacks that I like? Yes. Are they snacks I want in Epcot? No, because there's so many other
Mhm.
options. So I'm going to give it a 60.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I really do enjoy eating at the Regal Eagle. That is a fun place for a meal, but I am not a fan of funnel cakes. I'm not a fan of the turkey leg. Ice cream, there are many other places I would go. So for snacking, I don't think it's a great stop, but it's not bad. So I'm going to go really middle of the road with a 50. It's a 50 shot of being happy there.
All right, we are well underway. We are ranking snacking around the pavilions from World Showcase at Epcot. It's making me hungry, but it's really putting into perspective here why I like specific pavilions. I really like this, and I have no idea where our ranking is falling. Stay tuned till the very end. Obviously, we're going to count them down, figure out what the number one best snacking pavilion is. I have a hunch I know which one it's going to be, but we'll see when we get there. Let's take a break, listen to our Friend Like Me segment. Make sure that you are stopping what you're doing and following these friends of ours in your social media feed. We know you're already there, so just give them a follow, play along with them and what they're doing, and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, Smarties, I'm so excited to talk about another Facebook community to join. Our friend Maureen Perquedu is hosting Doing Disney Deluxe Style. It's a planning community where they share their Disney experiences, tips, and ideas on how you can experience Disney Deluxe Style. Can you have a deluxe experience if you're not staying in a deluxe resort or if you're on a budget? Well, they sure think so, and I agree. Join our friends so that you can find out if your vacation can become a deluxe vacation at Doing Disney Deluxe Style on Facebook or by visiting the link in today's show notes. I love cruising. That's why I want you to join our friend Kelly Lane at Smart Moms Plan Cruises. Which cruise line is the best for onboard activities? Where are my kids going to have the most fun? And what about my older ones? Where are they going to hang out? In Smart Moms Plan Cruises, they're offering up personalized itinerary planning for families of all ages. They're going to talk about the packing essentials you need no matter which cruise line you are going on for your unforgettable family vacation. Join them at Smart Moms Plan Cruises, where they have exclusive offers to Smart Moms travel clients and great discounts. All right, we are back. I am still thinking about the pretzel from Germany, you guys. I think I'm just really hungry and I'm fixated on it. So much so that I think for any Smart Moms travel agents listening today, the hidden Mickey will be pretzel.
Perfect.
I think the pretzel's gonna reign. Well, we'll see what happens here as we continue along. We haven't looked at our list yet. We're just over halfway through World Showcase. Still have some good progress to make. We are heading into Japan. Becki, I want you to start us off with Japan.
I am happy to start in Japan. Our family spends a lot of time in the Japan pavilion. My kids love anime, and so we spend a lot of time in the shop there. There's a lot of really fun things to explore in the art side of the pavilion. But snacking wise, there's really two things that come to mind. One of them may or may not think of as a snack, which would be like sushi. You could grab sushi as a snack, but the snow cone. I think you say it as kakagori, and it is a snow cone. Like my very favorite one there is the honeydew flavor. And if you are a fan of shaved ice snow cones and it's a hot day, it is the perfect thing to cool you off. My kids love them. It's one of the things that I would seek outside of the park, so it's not something we have to hit every time, but I really do love it. Do you want me to rate it or you want to talk about it more?
No, go ahead and give your score.
Okay, so as far as the snow cone goes, snow cone hits right in my palette of what I want when it's a hot summer day. I do enjoy Japan as a pavilion. So I'm not gonna say it's amazing, but I like the option, so I'm gonna go with a 72.
Mm.
Whoa. Go ahead, Stace.
So it's definitely a shaved ice. It is definitely a very good shaved ice, but that's really the only option there. And I'm not a big shaved ice fan. I mean, it's a good version of it. I've not even had my own. I've really only tried other people's. I never stop here for a snack. Maybe I should. It may have a little bit more to do with the fact, again, that I have come from Mexico and I have eaten a lot by the time I get there. But, it's fine. It's a fine place for a snow cone. So I give it a 60.
How good can a snow cone actually be?
Amazing. If you put the sweet cream milk stuff on top of it, it's amazing.
Okay, but a snow cone on its very best day, dressed up in a tuxedo in Epcot, is still a 40.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
let you record a 40 as a hater of all things delicious. But listen, there's more than snow cones.
We have shaved
I
ice.
should have explained there's more than snow cones in sushi because go inside the store and there's so many Japanese candies that you can try. And they have Japanese soda sometimes that have like the marble that you pop down. Like our family just loves
Well,
Japan.
and that's a fun okay, first of all, I didn't say I didn't love Japan, okay?
Right.
Second of all, I don't want Japanese candies as part of my snack palette. It's just not for me. And we have a lot of snow cones around here, and don't think that you can talk a snow cone up. That is the reigning supreme snack there.
It is.
Sushi is a meal, so the Japan Pavilion for snacking gets a 40 from me.
She's sandbagging y'all. She's killing me.
Oh, I don't know. It feels pretty consistent here.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm looking at my scores and I'm like, "Oh, dang, these are kinda low." Alright, Morocco. Love this pavilion. I freaking love Morocco. It's so beautiful. The restaurant being on the water, not many pavilions have a restaurant on the water. Morocco and Mexico? Is that right?
No,
I
UK.
mean, you could kinda get a UK yeah, I was gonna say, you kinda get a table on the water in UK. So beautiful down there, but that's not a snack, right? Snacking includes the baklava, the mosaic cookie, which I actually haven't had, or like a slushie or a
Mhm.
smoothie. How often are you eating in Morocco, and how often are you running through Morocco to get to
That's
France?
exactly it.
I stop at Morocco every single time, but it's not for the snacks. It's for the sangria for 2 and the beautiful
Right.
quiet area in the back of the pavilion to, like, rest my feet.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep. If we were ranking pavilions on beauty, shopping, and rest, and drinks, Morocco would be up there. But for snacks, I don't know a lot of people that are stopping to snack in Morocco.
And I'll stop for entertainment there too. It
Absolutely.
the band and the belly dancer,
The belly
and yes,
dancers.
she's so
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, I've never stopped for a snack here.
I think this pavilion has a lot to offer just in general. It's a great place to be. It's a great hang. But you're going to have to be munching on your caramel popcorn or I guess your snow cone because I think that's really what's the reality of being in Morocco is you're enjoying it for other reasons. Just on my recent trip, some of the ladies got these, they were like grapefruit mimosas or something right there in that quick service spot. Oh my gosh, they looked amazing. I didn't have one because I was saving myself for the next pavilion, but they looked so delicious. And actually, the quick service spot there smelled amazing, looked amazing. So, a lot to offer as a pavilion, not a whole lot to offer as a snacking option, though. I think if you want to get, like, if baklava is in your wheelhouse, obviously, this is a place to get it and because there are a few options and because I do love this pavilion, I'm gonna give it a little higher than some of the other ones. I gave it a 52.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm going with a 50 myself. I know that's where I ranked the US Pavilion, which I don't think of them as similar at all. So my scores, even the same, are not reflecting the reasons behind them. And I'm giving it a 50 to try to be nice, honestly, because I do love the pavilion so much, but I don't think it's one worth stopping at for a snack.
Yeah.
If you
Hmm.
are a pastry person and you enjoy those flavors of kind of that Morocco vibe, like when we went to Morocco, we tried a lot of these things and they were very unique flavors. I'm really actually impressed because the reason I have not snacked in Epcot recently is I have adult onset allergies and I didn't realize when we were in Morocco that I was allergic to so many of these things. Like there's coconut, there's almonds, there's like everything that I'm allergic to in all of this bakery section. But y'all, it's so affordable. Like you can go to that little pastry shop and get one pastry for $3 or get a pack of 7 of them for like 15 bucks. Like it's really affordable considering what you're getting and walking away from. So if that's your flavor, amazing, but I can't really speak to it from having tried it recently. So I'm going to go more based on the variety, which there are lots of different pastry options. And I can't necessarily say it's not my, just because it's not my flavor, that it's not an amazing place to get something. So I'm going to kind of be in that middle of the road with a 63.
Yeah. I think it's true for all these pavilions, right? If the flavors of this international pavilion are something you really value and enjoy, you're gonna get a good one where you are. But we're comparing all the pavilions and their power ranking for snacking. And, I think we're doing a fair job, if I do say so myself.
I agree.
Let's go to France. Stacey, you start us off with France.
Oh my goodness. What are we topping out at 100?
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
No, I know. And I'm not gonna give 100. That's a very difficult score for me to give, but this is a top choice for me on many, many occasions for my snacking. In the ice cream shop, here is where I'm going for the ice cream, guys. We talked about there's other areas for ice cream. This is it. And the line out the door would show you that it is very, very popular for ice cream. It is delicious. That line does not move quite as fast because you are getting some very special ice cream treats in there. They will do sundaes and little few different drink options with your ice cream. But what is so, so good is the croque glacé. And I did take French, but I'm in Alabama and I cannot make it sound very good. So just deal with it. But it is a wonderful pastry slash what is the bread that they use?
It's
It's
almost like a brioche
a
bread.
roll.
It's
It's a
brioche, I think.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe, and it is sliced in half with a plop, one big giant scoop of ice
Don't
cream.
call it a plop.
It is a
Don't call it a
dollop
plop.
of heaven.
Yeah, do not call
Dollop
it a
actually is
plop.
the word. My brain was thinking of the word dollop. My mouth said plop.
Yeah. Oh God.
Man, my bad. Dollop is the better
You have
word.
to lose points just for calling it a plop.
Well, I lose points, but France does not. France hangs on to all of their points. It is so good. It is such a unique, fun taste of the salty and the sweet, and it's the warm with the cold. It is just it's perfect. It has all of the sensory flirtations that I just really, really love. And then you go through, there's the other bakery area that has even like quiche, which I like. I like the salty. If I can find a nice, small, bite-sized salty snack like the quiche, I do love that. Again, that might be considered an entree at sometimes, but that doesn't bother me. And you can do, hold on, it's a French word I got to think of. It's ham and cheese and
A croissant?
nope.
No, a
Come on.
croque monsieur. Croque monsieur.
That's it. Yes, croque monsieur.
I know.
Yes, that is it. Okay, my brain had to get there. Yeah, because the way you
I know,
say
but then
it.
you looked at me like I was wrong.
No, it was
Is
my
wrong.
brain interpreting your Ohio version of it to what was in my head as an Alabama version of it. So
Both tragic, I'm sure.
the croque monsieur
Yeah.
it is very good too. It does borderline on a lunch, like a nice little snacky almost lunch meal, but so good. There's so many things back in there, guys. And I know you know it. Y'all go ahead and tell your favorite things too. Oh, let me give my score of a 95.
Ooh,
Yeah. Oh, good one. Yep. France hits for me. I think this is a perfect pavilion. Everybody just automatically thinks about Mexico because everybody likes tequila and margaritas and nachos, and it's hard to see past that. But my favorite is France. It's the savory sweet thing we were talking about earlier. Crepes, give me all the crepes, sweet and savory, and I can get whichever mood I'm in.
Mhm.
Obviously, best ice cream, as you said. I'm repeating a lot of what you said, but also my favorite snack at Epcot is the champagne flight. And it's so much fun to do with friends, and that's where you get it, is in the France Pavilion. I just think the spectrum here of snacks you can get, no matter what you are, you want tart, you want savory, you want sweet, you want filling, you want quick, little macarons,
Mhm.
bring it on. It's all here. Literally nothing left to be desired. Grab and go, delicious drinks, great snacks. I gave it a 99. I'm not really sure why I took a point
Wow.
off.
Yeah.
But I did. I just think this is where you're going to snack because it's also where you're going to drink and it's also where you're going to ride Remy and it's also, not everybody wants to sit at Chefs de France. You know what I mean? And you're still going to be able to eat well here and hang out. It's great. Are you kidding me?
it is beautiful, but a 99. Wow.
Yep.
That is up there.
Well, you know what they don't have is they don't have caramel popcorn,
Oh, please.
but they do have warm baguettes and they have beignets and they have tartlets.
Give us
It's
your number. Give us your
amazing,
number.
but it's not 100. I would say a 95. It's pretty
Yeah.
solid. And that's even like a stretch because when you think we're going to go to the France Pavilion and we're going to get ice cream on bread, like, is
I
that what
know.
you're
It doesn't
thinking?
sound
Does
so
not
good.
sound good, but it is
No.
so delicious. Ugh, my mouth is watering thinking about that too.
Mhm.
It is definitely a second place
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
Germany for me, but it is a close second place. It is right up there.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Duking it out. Kind of two that I really thought would. Okay. Now we're going to cross the bridge there. This is sort of toward the end of World Showcase if you started the right direction in Mexico. And it's going to take us to the United Kingdom.
Yay!
Stacy, thoughts on the UK?
Are you trying to lead me into a command performance conversation? Those guys.
They're so good.
One day they're gonna know who I am.
They will.
One day.
You don't think they already do?
I feel like they do.
No, I don't think they know. No, they don't.
Maybe
They
not
don't
by
know who I
name, but I bet they have a reference.
am. I don't think so. I don't think so. But we'll see. Well, maybe
bad.
one day. I don't want to be considered a stalker, so it may be okay that they don't. Let's
You
keep it that way.
you definitely are. Like
No, I'm
100%.
really not. I'm really not.
There are some people who are pretty big fans though that show up multiple times on every day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I am not their biggest fan for sure. But I do like them and I think everyone should try it and try to go see them and
Are you calling them a UK snack?
Ooh.
that is really funny. No, no, that's funny. I felt like you were baiting me for that, however. I just cannot help but think of fish and chips at UK in the UK, and I have snacked on fish and chips, have looked forward to it, like thinking, "Oh, it's not quite mealtime yet. I have time to swing in there and get some fish and chips." And it's so good, and it's only one fish, and I'm like, "It's just a snack." And it's at a food cart. It's not at a sit-down restaurant. It's not at a quick service. So to me, I'm categorizing it as a snack, but I know that that is way too big and heavy for a lot of people. I personally think it's so delicious, however, but in reality, that's all I've ever really snacked on there. What else have y'all snacked on there?
Nothing. There is
Nothing.
no snacks
Mm,
in the UK pavilion.
No.
And I even dare
No.
say that fish and chips isn't a snack.
I
No.
know.
If
I
you're getting
know.
an entree and fries in a basket, that's a meal.
I
Like,
know.
I feel like we need to be
It's
like,
a meal.
sorry, UK, you get excluded from our ranking because you don't have snacks.
Yeah. What are you giving us to snack on, UK? We
Besides command performance.
just crossed a bridge. We're freaking hungry. Right.
So funny.
What is your
Gosh, that's so
score?
funny.
Let's hear your scores.
I really like the fish and chips. It's so delicious, but I agree, it's not really snacky. So, I mean, do we go 50? I mean, maybe I go 50.
We do not go 50. You
You're
can
gonna
go
go you're
50.
gonna go lower than 50, aren't you? I'm gonna go 50. How about that?
Yeah. Well, that's fine. I'm going 30. It's not a snack.
Y'all, I'm going 10 because it's
Oh my.
because
Well, I'm glad I went with 50 then.
the only snack that I'm getting there is the caramel popcorn that I brought from back in Germany. There is no snacks
Yeah.
unless you're like, I don't know, are you going to have tea? Is that a snack? There's just not snacks in the UK
Tea and
pavilion.
crumpets? Are there crumpets?
I don't think there are. I mean, you could go into the store and buy a thing of shortbread maybe, but it's
Biscuits.
not
Yeah.
gonna be this is not Disney snacking. This
No.
is a sad state of affairs.
But it's such a sweet little pavilion. It
You
feels
want to go
bad
to
to say
UK
that.
to shop in those
It's
elegant
my
shops.
favorite. It's my
Yeah.
very
Well, yeah,
favorite
it's gorgeous.
pavilion. But the reality is if you want a snack, you're getting a cake pop from Joffrey's. That's the extent of it.
Yeah, it's true. You're gonna take a picture in the little phone booth, the red phone booth, so cute, and you're gonna walk through the gardens and you're definitely not gonna eat unless you want your food there. Like if you love fish and chips, get a quick service, go eat fish and chips, but it's not a
Or
snack.
go to the bar and spend time at the
Yes.
pub.
Go
Or
pub,
have
yeah.
have an actual meal.
Go hang in the pub. Yeah, go hang in the pub, like for sure. Absolutely great time. Not knocking the pavilion and the things to do, but definitely knocking the ability to snack. Okay, that's gonna finish us out here. The final pavilion, Canada.
Now you talk about a long distance. When we talked about the distance between China and Germany, this is a much bigger distance, it feels like, from UK to Canada.
You think?
No. You
You think?
literally
You don't think?
No.
No, you just walk past the
feel like that's
Canadian
No.
entertainment area where they play music. It's right there.
And I guess, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess it starts way back. I'm just thinking about where you get the food. Where you
Oh,
get your snacks is from
well,
one end for you. So
yeah.
your last snack was in France. Unless you did fish and chips, you've got a long way to get to your Canadian snacks. But keep going. Here we go. Talking Canada.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting maple popcorn, so Becky's literally giddy in my screen right now. And poutine, which I do like poutine a lot, but that's really it, right?
that's the bulk of it. Unless it's a festival, right? Same thing.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of negative to say about poutine or maple popcorn. Not my favorite things. I do like the caramel more than the maple. So I give it a strong, for my ranking, 62. Because I think it doesn't really stand out, but it doesn't fall too short. It's fine. It's fine. And by there, you're probably really full or really drunk, depending on how you've done
Or just
Epcot. So
starting if you're not following
if you're lame.
the Mexico side of things.
Well, and that's what I was thinking. If you start over there, it is a good place to get started. I like both of these snack options a lot. I think they're both very good, very strong snack options. I really do like the poutine. I like the popcorn. I
Mhm.
think it's a fantastic place if you're, especially if you're really snacking around the world. So, in that perspective, I give it an 80.
Fair enough.
Decent. I'm a popcorn girl. I love all popcorn. Butter
Mm.
popcorn, maple popcorn. Although I've talked about the caramel popcorn being specific to the Epcot popcorn that I like. Maple popcorn is definitely secondary to caramel popcorn. And poutine I
Uh-huh.
like as well. But I don't know that I choose it as a snack, even though I really do love it. I don't know that this is the best place to get it. There's a really great option for it in Disney Springs. That's a dedicated restaurant that has it. So I'm giving it a 78. I think it's fine, but not the best of the best.
Okay. So we're gonna do a quick lightning lane. We'll go Stacy, then Becki. All right. Are you
Mm,
set?
great.
Quick answers. We've already explained our way through World Showcase. We don't need an explanation. Let's just hear what pops off in that brain there. Favorite place to grab a cup of coffee in Epcot?
Connections, Starbucks, probably.
Good job, Becki. All right, Stacey, what about
Oh,
you?
Oh gosh, so funny. It's Norway.
Yeah, Norway is a great
oh,
option.
Viking coffee. Viking coffee.
Viking
I
coffee is
changed my
wonderful.
answer.
For sure, Viking coffee for me as well. All right, favorite take back to the hotel room snack.
Duh.
Hmm
Do I even need to answer this question? Get caramel popcorn and buy two. Buy one for the park and one to take back to have for the rest of your trip.
I have never needed to. One is sweet enough to get me through, but I agree. The caramel popcorn is the way to go.
Gosh, these are a lot of descriptions, guys. These
Sorry,
are a
I
lot
know
of
this is
descriptions. Germany. Oh, what did you say? Snack. Okay. Popcorn. Caramel popcorn.
wow. Okay. Most overrated snack in Epcot. Go.
School bread.
School bread. Gosh, that's a good one. Yeah.
We all agree. The most underrated snack in Epcot.
Caramel popcorn's not underrated, so I can't put it there. I'm going to say the pretzel bread pudding. It's amazing. And I don't think a lot of people know about it.
Turkey leg. Just kidding.
No. Allie.
I'm gonna say maybe like crepes or something. I don't think enough people are getting crepes back in France.
Yeah. And that glacé, whatever
Mhm.
the bread, bread and
Not
ice
enough
cream.
people know. Not enough people know about that. And favorite place to sit and enjoy a snack in Epcot with a view.
Oh.
On the bridge, right in front of the Italian pavilion.
I think in the Germany pavilion because there's tables out on the
That's
water
that's where I'm
there and you
talking
can
about. Like where that bridge
Oh,
between Italy and Germany, and it's like that white. You can walk out over the water.
no, not
Oh,
there. Not there. That's a good place too. But Germany, right by where you pick up the massive German pretzel, there is a walkway that's out behind that that's right up against the water that's actually in the German pavilion. And there's lots of tables
too
there.
much. Too
It's
much explaining, Becky. Stacy, what's your answer?
I'm so sorry.
Japan. I think the plants back there are really beautiful.
Ooh,
Mm,
good
And
one.
the bench, it's more like benches and seems like it's just got some wooded seating that's really pretty.
mm.
Great. All right. Well, I have my top 11 in my order ranked how they fell for me personally. I'm excited to hear how they fell when we all average our scores. Becky, let's go. 11 to 1.
11 is really, I feel like, should not be included. So we'll just say that 11 is the UK pavilion because it has no snacking. So really, a top 10 is what we're talking about. But okay, UK.
Yeah.
We need more
Yep.
options. Bring the snacking. Although, realistically thinking about it, when I went to England, I don't know that there do much snacking there. I don't know the answer to that, but I don't remember having snacks in the UK
There you
really.
go.
So
True to form.
maybe that's a
True to
thing.
form.
All right, in 10th place with a score of 51.7 is Norway. Does that feel accurate?
It does.
No, that's surprising me actually, but interesting.
Okay. Number 9. This one actually surprised me because it is so absolutely gorgeous, is Morocco.
Oh, this is surprising. There's something on my list that should be lower.
Next one with a score of 56.3 is the US Pavilion. Checking out. Next one at number 7 with a 57.3 is the Japan Pavilion. Get yourself
Did you
a
guys scored the slushies or the shaved ice too high? Go ahead.
No, it's delicious. It's delicious. Okay. Number 6 with a score of 60 is China. Number 5 with a score of 63.3 is Italy. Number 4 with a score of 73.3 is Canada, which brings us into our top 3. And I don't feel like there was a massive amount of gap between those number 4 and number 10 or number 11. I mean, number 11's an outlier, but
Mhm.
these are the cream of the crop when it comes to finding
Tell
snacks at
us.
Epcot. Number 3 with a score of 77 is Mexico.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, those nachos. If you're having them as a snack, if you're having them as a meal, just do yourself a favor and get the nachos.
Mhm.
They're amazing. Then with a score of second place with a score of 94.3 is Germany. You all are crazy. You all
No.
are crazy.
No.
France takes number 1 with a 96.3. It is delicious, but I'm heartbroken.
I'll tell you right now, the top 5 winners are the same order that I had in top 5, so I'm feeling happy.
This ended up really perfect.
I think so too. I think so too.
It is
I love
amazing.
it.
It is
I
amazing.
hope that we have inspired you to snack around World Showcase, and now you know where the best pavilions to find the best snacks are. And you know what? Even if your favorites fell to the bottom of our list, whatever palette you're working with, you can probably find it and you can have your own ranking. And you know what? Join us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are scrolling, and let us know where we got it wrong. Let us know why you think a different pavilion should have ranked higher. We love to engage that way with our Smarties. And that's going to do it for us this time on another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, to share it with friends that are planning Disney or just got back from Disney. If it made you happy, it'll probably make them happy. And until next time, we'll see you real soon.
I knew you were going to do that.
Well, there you go.
Don't do that. Go switch that up. Change it to Becki or you.
Fine, Beck.
What are we doing? 1 to 100?
So you're giving it a
Oh, you want my number?
Actually, I don't
like
know that
Final
it's going to be all 4 of us. Actually, now that I say it, I think it's just me, you, and Carla. Right? I don't think Katie's going to make it to Epcot. I don't know. Anyway,
I hope you kicked her out of the group text. And I want Stacy to not edit this out.